The free $20,000 MLB 10 Runs for Free Cash contest is now live at SBRforum.com. What is the contest? It's simple. Each day in a designated SBR Forum post, you pick one team that you think will score 10 or more runs that day. You qualify to win $100 that day if you are correct. Each day the game continues, you pick another team. And every time your team scores 10 runs, you'll be adding onto your total score. The contest is split into 3 segments, and at the end of each segment, the top scorers split $2,500. And at the conclusion of the contest, there's even more cash up for grabs, in total over $20,000. And I know what you're thinking. You can just pick the Yankees every day and win. No, you can only pick the same team once per week. Check out the link in the description for more info and see you in the SBR Forum for the contest.
Folks, welcome into sportsbookreview.com. It's Monday, and it's time to talk some Major League Baseball. Didn't I tell you it was Friday? Turns right into Mondays. Tomorrow will be Tuesday. It might as well be another Monday. Every day is New Week, New Money here on the channel here at sportsbookreview.com. But we got a short little Major League Baseball card to dip into. And I know, yes, if you saw the promo video I put out, I know football is starting this weekend. We got a lot left to do here on the Major League Baseball show throughout the rest of the summer and into the fall, right through to the World Series. I'm Donnie Seymour along with Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance with the sportsbookreview.com Major League Baseball team. And we're here to bring the thunder on a Monday, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, we already got day baseball, the Red Sox against the Rangers. Just watched a ridiculous base running blunder from the Rangers. So it's like we're watching minor league baseball instead of Major League Baseball. But it is baseball nonetheless, and not much. There's not much going on today in terms of the card, but we'll do the best we can, and we'll try to give you guys some leads. And I know Kyle might have a player or something, so we'll do what we'll do, and we'll have some fun.
Yes, we always will have fun here, Kyle. And I noticed in your cup you said you're not drinking any alcoholic beverage. It's the new Kyle because football's starting. You can't just have this debauchery.
I got to stay looking young. The pressure's on to look young. We know that around here. Just some days you wake up, you get old, your stomach just hurts a little bit. And my son's out driving around town and stuff now and going to the lake and stuff. So I have more anxiety nowadays than I had about a week and a half ago. But hey, Friday was payday. We always say it. Friday was a great day. We want to continue it on this week. It is a tough card. I will say this. We are going to have leans. I do have plays, but today would be a day for me where I would take it a little bit easy. I wouldn't go crazy today. The favorites are heavily juiced.
Go crazy.
Go crazy. The favorites are heavily juiced. There's not a bunch of huge advantages here. Even some of those favorites like Houston, for example, Lynch hasn't been all that bad. So there's some, I would be a little more conservative today than on most days. It's a tougher card, not a ton of great spots, but we're going to have some fun. There is a strikeout under prop, got some home run guys. Going to be a good day.
Yes, it is going to be a good day. Friday, I was very upset because payday did not work out in my favor. I hit the odds boost. I hit the, value play, but I got 10 hits and a couple walks and not a single run out of those Cardinals. So that set me on a little bit of tilt here. Rested, ready for revenge this week, and ready to get after it. We do have a game live, as Jason did point out here. Boston 2-1 over the Texas Rangers right now in the bottom of the 5th inning with 1 out. So we'll see how this one goes. I thought the Red Sox would be able to score and get to their team total here and certainly pick up a victory against Texas. Looks like it's a little bit more of a struggle than we would have thought here, Jason. Any looks or leans here in that first game for you today?
Look, that's been the Red Sox, right? They haven't been nearly as good at the trade deadline or since the trade deadline, and they'll get the win against the Rangers here, but they haven't really done it in solid fashion. The Yankees are stealing games from them in the wild card, and maybe the Yankees even get to the American League East standings at the top. So the Red Sox they're trending downward. Hard to bet them right now. Should still win this game. I don't have a bet on it. I did put a little bit of a $5 parlay, which included the Red Sox, so I'm rooting for them, but it's just $5. So, it is what it is. But I'll be rooting on the Red Sox for today's game.
There you go. Anything early for you, Kyle, in this game between the Sox and the Texas Rangers? Obviously, you're paying a price of over $3 if you wanted to take Boston now. So if you have them, sweating a little bit out here, but any looks on this one?
No, for me, every time I see Texas, and I agree with you, I did think the Boston team total was live earlier. It was just a little bit high for my liking, especially a day game, and Jason touched on some of Boston's struggles lately. So I decided to stay away from that. But every time I see Texas, every single time, it's a live betting situation for me. Once that bullpen comes in, like Allard's not a very good pitcher, but that bullpen is really, really bad. So maybe you start getting some depressed lines later in the game if they stay at 2 runs for another couple of innings. Maybe you can smash on a 3 or a 3.5 and take advantage of that Rangers bullpen. When you have teams like the Diamondbacks, like the Rockies, like the Rangers, these teams like the Orioles, the Tigers, really, really bad bullpens, good live betting spots, and it tends to pay off. We even got some love for that yesterday, as some of our listeners have been learning and watching and taking advantage of that, and it worked out for them over the weekend. It's the Mr. Right Side. Get those depressed live team totals, especially with a bad bullpen.
That's right. I was even able to hit a Phillies live line, and the inning that I took them there, they whiffed in scoring, but still didn't matter yesterday. Nice little, and again, they're not a lot of money, but there's a lot of money to be made in those type of situations. They're taking those live team totals. Let's get to the Major League Baseball card today, boys, because we do have some pretty big games here to go over, even though there's not a lot of them. How about this one, 9:05, 9:06, the Chicago White Sox and the Toronto Blue Jays. Lynn versus Manoah on the mound. We got roughly a pick 'em across the board. -108 here at Pinnacle as a slight favorite here towards Toronto. -112 here in New Jersey as a slight favorite towards Toronto in this one. And if we're taking a look at across the boards, 9s primarily, some 8.5s stepping up here at PointsBet. But you got 2 really good-looking lineups today. This is a playoff-type atmosphere. In these situations, I usually look towards the unders as opposed to going over, but 2 live teams at the plate, maybe George Springer not being there anymore for the Blue Jays, really having an impact on them today. I still like the White. You give me cheap prices, the White Sox, Jason. That's the way I always look.
Yeah, look, and Manoah, on the other hand, for the Blue Jays, a little inconsistent as of late, did allow 7 runs in 3 innings against Washington in his last start. But, before that, he's a guy that allowed about, 2 runs or less in most of his starts. He will have the potential to, have a poor game here and there more than Lance Lynn would. So I'd like to back Lance Lynn more than Manoah here. I mean, Lynn is fighting for, the Cy Young Award for the American League. And so he's easily the better pitcher. Like you said, the lineups are both really good from both sides. So the better pitcher, the White Sox, the better bullpen, the White Sox. I would lean towards the White Sox here as the I would assume they're the short favorites. So, it's going to be a great game. And there's an even better game that we'll talk about in just a minute. Some really good ones. And when there's really good games with solid pitchers, that's when we struggle finding plays. So that's why it's going to be a little bit harder for us to find a play today.
Exactly. Take a look here at Lance Lynn over the past 30 days, striking out close to 29% of the batters that he has faced. So I'm just going to tease it a little bit. There's a nice little odds boost out there in the FanDuel Sportsbook that we might be delving into. But Kyle, taking a look at this, Lance Lynn on the mound for the White Sox, Manoah on the mound for the Toronto Blue Jays. How do you see this one playing out if you have any advantages here?
Well, I'm sort of with you. When you get a cheap price on a team like the White Sox, you take it. The Blue Jays have been struggling to score runs lately. I certainly trust Lance Lynn more than Alek Manoah. I think Manoah's a good young pitcher. I like him, and he's shown some promising stuff. Obviously looked terrible, absolutely god-awful against Washington in his last start. But before that, pretty effective. He did have a 24 fantasy point outing against the White Sox in his last outing. That's not all that great. If you flip that over to Lance Lynn, a 49 and a 30 in his last 2. So, yeah, I lean the White Sox here. I do like him in the first 5 innings. Again, I'm not trying to go into those bullpens because both bullpens are really good. Toronto's is very good. The White Sox are very good. I'm going to focus on the pitching advantage here. Slight lean to Lance Lynn. I like the price on the White Sox. So if me personally, I stayed away from this game. Too close to call for me. But if I was going to lean a certain way, it would certainly be towards the White Sox there in the first 5 innings. And I think you're getting them at like -108, -110. Pretty much a pick them in those first 5 innings. So I'll lean the White Sox.
Yeah, it's a good game here. And again, playoff atmosphere. The Blue Jays really need this one. We'll see what the Chicago White Sox can bring up. But look, if I'm getting cheap numbers here, I'm probably going to be leaning towards the Chicago White Sox. 7:20 tonight start. How about this one? 9-11, 9-12. One of the hottest in the AL versus one of the hottest in the NL. Montgomery, the lefty, will be on the mound versus Inoa. That is the Yankees and the Braves. And, hey, across the board, similar to what we just talked about here with the White Sox and the Blue Jays, you have pick'ems, -110 offshore for Atlanta. You take a look at -112 here in New Jersey for the Atlanta Braves once again. So not a lot of moves there. 9s across the board. 2 teams that are hitting now. And if I'm looking just at the pitching matchup, I love what Atlanta's doing, obviously. But Montgomery's a decent pitcher here. Better bullpen for the Yankees side for myself. a cheap number. I'm going to take the Yankees, but this is two teams that are streaking. One streak has to come to an end. And, of course, if you like any teams here in the National League East, you're hoping it's going to be the Yankees with this victory here, Jason.
Yeah, so first off, the Yankees are on the road, so they will need to bat Montgomery or the pitcher spot in this game. They'll be in Atlanta. So I guess that favors Atlanta just a little bit. But and I agree with you. Montgomery has been really consistent this year. His last start against Boston, 3 runs and 4.2 innings pitched. But if you go down the list, he gives the Yankees a chance to win every single time he's out there. 3 runs or less, and mainly every single start going back to 6-15. He's allowed 3 runs or less in every single start. So he gives the Yankees a chance to win. Now, obviously coming back from injury, so we haven't seen much of him in his start when he came back, which was his first start since 5/16. He went 5.1 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk against the Marlins. So not much there going up against the Marlins, but he did look good in that outing. So yeah, this game probably starts on the underside, maybe the first 5 under, but then you go later into the game. Like Donnie talked about, the Yankees easily have the better bullpen, although the Braves, their bullpen's been a lot better, and the Braves in general have been a lot better since the deadline. At the deadline, they were under 500. Now they're 12 games above. So that's how good the Braves have been, but their schedule has also been kind of weak, as the Yankees has, their schedule has been a little bit as well. But I do think the Yankees are the better team in this game, and I think that they would, be able to win this game towards the late half of the game.
Yeah, and we're taking a look at that total 9, and similar to what we've already been talking about so far, leaning towards unders here. I lean towards the under in this baseball game again. You got 2 decent pitchers out there. Now, the hitters, look, they can come alive. It's down in Atlanta where you can see some runs in there. I get it. But in those playoff-type atmospheres, sometimes they play a little bit lower. Also, take a look at the Yankees lineup today. Sort of coming alive, but still, you can't get away from this. So many strikeouts, Kyle, still in that lineup. Last 30 days, Judge towards right-handed pitching struck out 33%. Gallo, 41%. Stanton, 26%. Odor, 28%. Sanchez, 33%. Velasquez, 33%. Putting the ball in play is half the battle here. And, there's going to be a pitcher batting tonight, so even more strikeouts for the Yankees.
Exactly, and I think that's the thing that I'm keying on the most. So this game's played at a National League park, so the pitchers are going to hit. Jordan Montgomery, this dude, grabs a bat twice a year. Anoa, on the other hand, is an absolute, for a pitcher, he's a fantastic hitter. So that's advantage Braves for me right there. Their team total's at 4.5. I think that's live. Now, the concern is they have to get that done early off the lefty Montgomery. We obviously know we love the Braves lineup against lefties. They just have so much power and so much talent from the right-handed side, which is crazy to say considering Acuna and Ozuna are not in that lineup as well. Imagine if they had both of them still this year. So I lean the Braves. What I did, maybe for some McNuggets here, if you go to BetMGM, you can get those. You can pay the price for a lower number. You get the Braves over 3.5. It's about -165, so it's a little juiced up. But again, you're not expecting a lot of runs against that Yankees bullpen. You're expecting it to happen earlier in the game off a decent pitcher. Jordan Montgomery's not terrible. He's not great. They should be able to hit. I would take that depressed total there at BetMGM, take the 3.5. And if you want to take a first 5 bet on the Braves at plus money, I don't mind it. You can get a -0.5 at plus 105 simply because I do think, I know it's a small advantage and it's not the end of the world and it's not the end all be all, but you do have a competent hitting pitcher in the 9-hole. And then when you go to the Yankees, what are you expecting it would be a shock if Jordan Montgomery got on base. So slight advantage there for the Braves. I like how they profile against the lefties. You mentioned it, the Yankees strike out too much. It's tough to trust that lineup with all of that talent, and I know they've won 9 straight, which is good. It's about damn time for the Yankees. But I have a slight lean here to the Braves. I don't mind them in the first 5. The reason we take them in the first 5 is, of course, that bullpen. I know it's been better, but it certainly doesn't stack up against the Yankees. Take them in that first 5 innings or get that repressed team total at 3.5 and hope they get to, 3 runs, maybe they get the 4 before that really good bullpen comes in.
There you go. All right. Nightcap tonight, 9:40, Seattle and Oakland, 9:09, 9:10 on the rotation. Gonzalez, the lefty, going to be on the mound versus Blackburn, the righty. And we do see some line movement here. Pinnacle Offshore opened up roughly at a pick 'em here. Oakland now showing at a -134 here in New Jersey, a -118 showing up for Oakland to start. That now sits at a -142. 8.5s across the board in this one in a pitcher's ballpark. And I got to say, Jason, you take a look at Gonzalez, usually one of those punching bags. He does, XFIP is a little bit high around that 4.77 range, but he's handled his business, both lefties and righties, over the past 30 days. ISO power numbers to lefties, a 111, to righties, a .079. Just what gives? Who do you think's the better ball club here? I still think Oakland is the better team. I agree with the line movement, but Gonzalez has had a decent stretch here over the last 30 days, Jason.
Yeah, the line movement makes sense. And if you look at Marco Gonzalez, the left-handed pitcher, you look at the Oakland lineup, they're going to have 8 righties, and then you'll have Matt Olson, a lefty, who already has done plenty of damage against Gonzalez. I think he has 4 home runs against Gonzalez in his career. So, yeah, there's lots to like in this Athletics lineup. And, yeah, while Gonzalez has looked good recently, he's also had 3 of his last 7 starts against Texas. So take that how you want to take that. And he's allowed 2 runs in those 3 games against Texas. So that's mainly why he's been a little bit better than I guess he was earlier on in the season. If you go back to the full season, you look at his stats, he's still pretty bad against righties. Still has a 364 weighted OBA, ISO 258. So those are both above average numbers against 257 righties. So he still has struggled against righties. He's been better as of late, of course, in the last 30 days and in the last 7 starts. But the Athletics, they're going to be home. Not the best ballpark for runs, but I do think the Athletics should be able to score, 3 runs in the first 5 innings against Gonzalez. I wouldn't rely on the Athletics to score against the Mariners bullpen. They've been a really good bullpen all season long. So I would take that over 2.5 in the first 5 innings for the Athletics in this spot.
Seattle trying to hang around here. Blackburn, I mean, just an interesting one. He only obviously had that 1 start. what did he have? 24 batters faced on the season, a 5.99 xFIP number. But he has handled his business technically, as I like to say, between lefties and righties. But it seems like he's maybe dancing between the raindrops, whereas sooner or later, you're going to get wet out there, Kyle. What are you thinking in this game?
Yeah, I like the Mariners here. And look, Paul Blackburn, this is a dude who's pitched like twice each of the last 2 years. He has 105 career innings pitched. He struck out 54 batters. He's averaging less than one strikeout every 2 innings pitched. So I love the under. If you saw us on Twitter, if you follow SBR on Twitter, Paul Blackburn under 3.5 strikeouts, sitting there at -143. Too cheap. I don't think Paul Blackburn gets the 4 strikeouts. I will say the Mariners are one of the higher strikeout teams in the league. Over at BetMGM, I know a lot of outlets have the Mariners team total at 4.5 at plus money or even money. Go to BetMGM, over 3.5 at -135. It was really close to being on my value menu and play of the day. The problem is sometimes you get a little bit concerned about the Mariners getting runners across when you take their team total, right? Donnie has quite experienced that, trusting the Mariners and having them let you down. Paul Blackburn is not a beast. I don't know who told you that or where you saw that, but 54 strikeouts and 105 career innings does not say beast to me. I maybe we have different definitions of a beast, but no, I do like the Mariners here. The money line in the first 5 innings, Gonzalez for me is exponentially better than Paul Blackburn. He's actually been pretty good against Oakland in his last 5 starts, nothing less than 29 fantasy points in those 5 starts. Plus money on the money line in the first 5 innings for the Mariners at +115. I think that's the way to go. Another underdog spot for me. I just can't trust Paul Blackburn. And for the record, the highest weighted 3-year OPS in terms of lineup versus pitcher belongs to the Mariners against Blackburn. And it's not overly high, but it's high enough today, sitting at +806 or .806. I like the Mariners today, and I like them +115 in the first 5 innings. And I think that over 3.5 at -135 at BetMGM is certainly live.
And there you go. And by the way, guys, also thank you for the love and the support up there. As we like to say, close to 300 people watching on a late card here on a Monday, but also 87,600 subscribers right here at sportsbookreview.com. If you ever needed any extra information here for us on Major League Baseball action, you see the link below, sbrpicks.com/MLB. Also, keep in mind the Major League Baseball show that we do. We still have that Bitcoin up in the air, $20,000 throughout the remainder of the summer, throughout September. Get in that contest if you haven't done so just yet. And also, of course, the Pick 6 contest coming up, as I said. Yes! NCAA action is this Saturday. You want to be in that Pick 6 contest. If you like all college football plays, you want to use that for your 6, that's fine. If you like all NFL, you want to use for your 6, that's fine. If you want to mix and match 3 and 3, 4 and 2, 5 and 1, do what you got to do to get in, because $50,000 is up for grabs. Any other information you want on that, you can always hit that little link just below where it says Top Chat. SBR Sports Picks is right there in yellow. Click on that link. Get involved in the action here at sportsbookreview.com. Let's get to some value menu wagers. And I guess as we like to say, There needs to be a little bit of value on this card. It's a game we just went over. I don't love it here, but that's why we talk about value. Just need a little bit of runs to get involved in this one. BetMGM minus 165, so it's a little bit juicy. That's why I'm not playing this as a best bet and a banker. I don't love this wager, but I do think the Oakland Athletics can get to that 3.5 number. It's not so much about it. Say, well, Donnie, well, hold on, man. Last 30 days, Marco Gonzalez is a lefty. He's been dominant against righties. I understand that, but I expect maybe a little bit of regression to kick in here. Now going on the road, he's going to see a ton of right-handed batters. Let's not forget on the season, 257 right-handed batters that Marco Gonzalez has faced. How about this? A weighted on-base average on the season of 364 with an ISO power number of 258. I think the Oakland Athletics can get 4 runs tonight in that ball game. I'll play that for a little bit of money on a value play. Jason, what are we taking a look at for you on your value card?
Yeah, I got 2 today. I agree with you on the A's. I'm taking the A's over 2.5 in the first 5 in the team total at minus 105. So a little bit less juice there, but they'll still need 3 runs. Donnie will just need 4. So you can, take either one. Both should cash from our thinking. And then, of course, the Astros over 4.5 in the team total at minus 145. That's another value play. They're going to go up against Daniel Lynch, and Lynch is a left-handed pitcher who really hasn't been that bad as of late, but still a 5.39 xFIP in his last 30 days, 18.3% strikeouts, 9.5% walks, and the Astros just scored 36 runs in their last 4 games. Alex Bregman, he won't be back just yet, but this lineup, they're catching some fire. They look really good, and the 2 guys that are kind of struggling offensively against lefties, that's like Altuve and Brantley, and these guys, they'll figure it out. And they'll get going as well once the other guys get going. So I do think that the Astros should be able to score 5 runs in this game against Lynch and also against the bullpen. I am aware that Lynch did perform well against the Astros in his last start, but now you get to watch some film, you get a little bit of a better game plan moving forward, and then the Astros should be able to do some damage as their offense is really turning it on in the last 4 days. So again, Astros over 4.5 on the team total, minus 145 via BetMGM, another value play that I'm going to be wagering on.
Value, Kyle. Where is it at? Where is it at?
Well, I'm taking a look here. I think I was going to change it up a little bit, but I can't find a first 5 team total for the Braves. I was trying to channel my inner Jason Radowitz, but I couldn't find one when I was looking here real quick. Because, look, on the value menu, I've got the Braves over 3.5 at minus 165 at BetMGM. Now, if you're able to find a better number on a total of over 2.5 in the first 5 innings, that makes a ton of sense because, once again, we're focusing on them versus the lefty Montgomery, as opposed to that very, very good bullpen. So you're hoping they get it done early. So if you do find a nice number on a first 5 team total that's better than that 165, I think that makes a ton of sense as well. But for right now, Braves over 3.5 off the lefty Montgomery at minus 165. And I think I'm going to go ahead and throw in that Mariners money line in the first 5 innings at plus 115 as well. Thank you, Jason. So you can get a Braves over 2.5 in the first 5 at plus 105. That makes a whole lot more sense to me than the over 3.5 for the game at minus 165. Just for the way that I'm approaching this game, I'm trying to focus on the runs against the starting pitcher, not necessarily that bullpen. So that's a good look at it as well.
Yeah, trying to get through this card here. We'll hit some odds boost tonight. I'm kind of upset here. They wouldn't have any crossover odds boost here between football and baseball, but as we do it, look, I've been having some success with these lately. There's one I do like, not in love with, but hey, if I'm going to get these odds boosts out, I do play these, and I think we can cash this one in. Lance Lynn to record 5 or more strikeouts tonight and a Chicago White Sox victory has been boosted from plus 150 to plus 220 right now on the FanDuel Sportsbook. If I think that the White Sox are going to win, which that was my prognosis a little bit earlier in the show, it probably means Lance Lynn's going to do some decent things on the mound tonight. Get into the 6th inning. 5 strikeouts against that Toronto lineup should be doable for him tonight. It's a nice little payday of over 2-1. That's where I'm going with my odds boost tonight. Once again, on the FanDuel Sportsbook, Lance Lynn to record 5 or more strikeouts tonight and a White Sox victory at plus 220. Jason, odds boost. Where are you taking it tonight?
Yeah, William Hill, they do it. They have a super boost right now. Astros at plus 100 for $25. Just spoke about how I like the Astros to score 5 runs. Also like them to win the game with Greinke on the mound against Lynch and the Royals. Someone mentioned in the chat about the Astros yesterday, their offense had a lot of hits, not many runs. I think that they'll be able to cross the plate in this game and get some RBIs going in this one as well. So like the Astros bats, I think they'll get the job done. The bullpen's been really good since the trade deadline, the second half of the season. So we're going to roll with the Astros plus 100 for $25 on William Hill as a super boost.
There you go. Boosted, Kyle. Where are we going today for you?
I'm going to go back to this Braves game. Austin Riley's been good to me early in the week, especially with home runs. You're getting at plus 400 boosted home run prop off the lefty. Now, he is a little bit better against righties, but the difference is Montgomery exponentially worse against righties than lefties. Austin Riley, good young player, like the power. I think the ball flies tonight a little bit. You get it boosted on DraftKings from plus 333 to plus 400 home run prop. Austin Riley, let's go deep. And it's over there at my beloved, sarcastically said, DraftKings Sportsbook.
There you go. Your DraftKings got a plus 550 on Vladdy to get 2 or more RBIs.
I thought about that one too.
You knock one into the upper deck. That's a plus 550 spot. So there are some interesting ones out here that you can certainly get to, shopping around, having some fun with those. But also they can be very profitable. Best bets on the Major League Baseball board tonight. It's a slim board tonight. I don't have a best bet in the banker for today. Quite frankly, Oakland barely made the cut at that heavy price at minus 160 here at BetMGM. So looking across the board, I don't have one today. Tuesday, a much bigger card, obviously very easy to pick off a couple winners in that one we can get to. So where are we looking at today, Jason, for your best bet and banker, if you do have one?
Yeah, I've got nothing today. We're just going to roll with the value plays. And it looks like that Renfroe just hit a homer for the Red Sox. So I know a couple of the guys in the chat have a lot of money on the Red Sox. So good for you guys getting that little insurance run there. But yeah, no plays for me. Just going to roll with it and put the value plays and the odds boost, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Kyle, where are we going tonight? Best bets on the Major League Baseball card. If you do have one, please share it with these good people in the chat box.
We're going to go ahead and do it, and I'm going to do something we're not supposed to do, and we're going to bet on the Cubs, and that Cubs team is bad. But listen, the bottom line is the Rockies on the road, and I know Vitalis out there has the stat. It's astronomical how bad the Rockies are in the first 5 innings on the road. I mean, it's something that you just don't see. So do I think the Cubs are great? No. Do I like betting on the Cubs? No. Am I going to do double, triple units on this? No, it'll be a basic 1 unit type of deal here. But I'm going to take the Cubs minus 0.5 in the first 5 at plus 105. I know that lineup doesn't scream a bunch of confidence, and the Rockies probably do have a little bit more talent in their lineup, but Senzatella is a bad pitcher. Let's just call it what it is. In his last 5 starts against the Cubs, here's the last 4, 18, -3, 0, and 4. He has not been good. Kyle Hendricks, he did struggle a couple starts ago, but he's an exponentially better pitcher. His last 4 starts against the Rockies, 37, 33, 52, and 35 fantasy points. For me, it's just that trend has gotten to be so overwhelming, it's hard to ignore. The Rockies just can't seem to get it together on the road. I like Hendricks a little bit better than Senzatella. I'm getting plus money, minus 0.5 in the first 5 innings. I know it kind of makes you throw up in your mouth a little bit, but we're going to lean the Cubs at home. And that's right, Art. Scared money doesn't make money. We're not going to be scared. Let's take those Cubs. First 5 innings, plus 105. Let's get it done.
Chet says, this is how bad the card is. I love the Cubs today. He is right. I'd rather go outside and do a couple crate challenges live on camera than actually sit back here and have a best bet and a banker on today's card. But let's get to the odds lightning round, wrap up the show here. See if we can find some things on some of these other games we can dig into. 901, 902, Arizona and Pittsburgh. Exactly, folks. That's today. Arizona and Pittsburgh here. And a slight price. Look, minus 114 at Pinnacle is a favorite towards Pittsburgh. Minus 120 at DraftKings here. But again, here's what we're talking about, Jason. Pittsburgh is a favorite today. Hey, where are we going?
Yeah, so look, Humberto Mejia will be on the mound. I did remember he did face the Mets.
I don't know who that is.
He faced the Mets twice last year. I think it was probably with the Marlins last year. He faced them twice. The Mets ended up scoring like 4 runs in 2 games against him through just 6.1 innings pitched. And then also against Washington, allowed 4 runs in 3.2 innings. So he finished 2020 with a 5.40 ERA, a whip of 1.90, and a win-loss record of 0-2. So, look, Mejia, he does have sneaky strikeout stuff, but outside that, I mean, there's nothing to like about him. And I kind of agree. I do think Pittsburgh, they're probably the favorites in this game, and I think they do win this game. But then the lineup, like for Pittsburgh, 128 ISO, 22.3% strikeouts against righties in the last 30 days, so on the entire season. So that just tells you that they have no power against righties really throughout the entire year. Then Arizona, they're not much either, right? Their offense isn't great as well. Maybe a little bit more there with Rojas and Van Meter and Varsho. All of these lefty bats could be in the lineup, can do some damage as well. So yeah, this is a game just stay away from. There's really no value whatsoever. I think Pittsburgh's a better team, but would I be surprised if Arizona ended up winning? Absolutely not. So There's a lot of other games that are going to be a lot more fun to watch. Like with the White Sox, Blue Jays, the Yankees, and Braves. Those two games are going to be really fun. This one, not going to be fun at all.
Yeah, it's a shame that Baltimore and Miami aren't playing tonight for a nice little, double header there. I don't know where you could put those guys together, but that's an interesting situation here. But yeah, we do cover those games, and that's why roughly the odds makers like, you know what? We got Arizona and Pittsburgh today. I don't know, guys. Just flip that. Just put minus 110 up on a side, minus 120, and have at it this one. Let's get to the last game we're going to talk about. We're going to go over that Colorado-Chicago Cubs game. Obviously, Kyle did have a play on that one, so no need to hit that. 907, 908, Kansas City and Houston. Lynch versus Greinke. Heavy price for those Houston Astros today to minus 250 with nines across the board. Any looks here, Kyle, in this Kansas City-Houston game?
Look, I know everyone loves Houston, and I get it, and they did. It seems like their bats woke up, but Kansas City's a live dog today. I'm not paying that price on Greinke and Houston. Let's look at the last three starts for Zach Greinke against the Royals. One very good start, and then two really bad ones in the teens in fantasy points. Has absolutely been lit up. You look at Daniel Lynch, a guy I was picking on earlier in the year. His last start, he was absolutely electric against Houston, put up a 43. It's Royals, it's on the road, it's tough, but for me, it's a dog or pass situation. You just can't pay that price with Zach Greinke. It's not a big enough advantage for me. When you actually look at the weighted 3-year OPSs here, it's 689 to 695. I do think there's some guys in that Kansas City lineup who have had some success here. If I get specific, Whit Merrifield, 4 of 8 in his career with a home run off of Greinke. Salvador Perez, 3 of 10 with a home run. Nicky Lopez, 3 of 5 in his career. I mean, it's a bad hitter. Carlos Santana, 4 of 14, a couple of doubles. So the Royals have had some success off Greinke. I'm not sure I'm willing to pay $2.50 to favor Zach Greinke. I'll have to pass on that for me. The only way I'm betting this game is taking a shot on a long underdog. That'd be the way I approach it. Overall, I'm staying away from it because I just don't trust it. But if I was going to do it, I'd sprinkle some on the underdog.
There you go. Let's wrap it up on the show today and give the people what they want. Clearing the bases here on a Monday. And I got to say, tomorrow on Tuesday, you get Dylan Bundy on the mound versus my man Watkins in Baltimore. I mean, there's a lot of good. The Phillies going to have a bullpen day against that hot lineup for the Tampa Bay Rays. So some good stuff to talk about. But before we get out of here, let's keep the people updated on what we are betting on tonight. Small play for me, value play. Oakland's team total 3.5 minus 160. And then also, if we take a look at the odds boost, Lance Lynn to get 5Ks or more tonight and a White Sox victory. That'll pay out here at plus 220 on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Jason, what do you have tonight?
Yeah, I'm on the A's over 2.5 in the first 5 and the team total at minus 105. And then I do like the Astros over 4.5 and the team total at minus 145 against Lynch and the bullpen. Of course, if the Astros don't win the game, that's okay. They score 5 runs for that value play. Also on the Super Boost with the Astros at plus 100. Kyle said he wouldn't pay the 200 price, but
I wouldn't pay that.
A lot better price, right? At $25 on Play Fill. So we'll do that with the Super Boost, and we'll have some fun with the card today.
What do you got, Kyle? Clear them bases for us. Clear them.
Okay, let's try to. I should be good at remembering these by now, but I'm bad. So let's start with the odds boost. I remember that Austin Riley home run prop boosted up to plus 400. I just have a gut feeling about him today. I like him off the lefty Montgomery. Our value menu play, I think I like that switch, taking the Braves over 2.5 in the first 5 at plus money. I think makes a lot more sense than the minus 165 at 3.5. So we'll go that route. Throw the Mariners plus 115 in the first 5 innings for a little bit of fun there. In that same vein, Paul Blackburn under 3.5 strikeouts at minus 143. Again, we're talking about a guy who averages less than 1 strikeout every 2 innings pitched. Tough slate. He's not an innings eater. This guy, realistically, to get to that number, despite the fact that Seattle strikes out a lot, you would need to pitch 6 or 7 innings. Does anyone see that happening for Paul Blackburn tonight? I certainly don't. And then the play of the day, and yes, chat box, I understand the Cubs suck. I get it. I'm so well aware, and it's not my favorite best bet and banker that I've had all year, but the Rockies are so dreadful on the road. I do give them the pitching advantage, Hendricks over Senzatella, so we're going to take those Cubs minus 0.5 in the first 5 at plus 105. Cross our fingers, take a couple shots, and hope the universe smiles upon us.
All right, Boston 3-1 here over Texas in the top of the 7th inning with 1 out here. Tomorrow is Tuesday. That means it's Dinger Tuesday, going for 8 for 8 on the season since I've started playing Dinger Tuesday. And I got to say, the funny part about it is Friday night, right? I go for an odds boost that has either Aaron Judge or Nolan Arenado to hit a home run. You goddamn right Aaron Judge hit a home run on Friday night, because the one thing I could do is pick guys to hit home runs, but I've never felt the pressure like I'm about to feel tomorrow. Go ahead.
I forgot one thing in that vein. My apologies. The list of 4 I have for the home run props today: Salvador Perez, Eloy Jimenez, Matt Olson, as Jason touched on, 4 career home runs off Gonzalez, and of course our boy Austin Riley.
There you go. Let's wrap it up here on the show for a Monday. We'll be back at it on Tuesday once again. And again, it is a Dinger Tuesday, so we're coming guns blazing tomorrow. So watch out for that radar that's going to be appearing tomorrow morning. Get back on the right side, as I like to say. Thanks for tuning in here on a Monday. Once again, I'm Donnie Seymour along with Jason Radowitz and Kyle Purviance. We're the sportsbookreview.com Major League Baseball team. This was your Monday show. And as always, good luck with those wagers.